How's it going, everyone? This is Bernardo here. This is another unsubjective reality video. For today's video, I wanted to sort of bring a reflection that I was having yesterday as I was scrolling through one of my crypto wallets, and that is about the gamification of business and money, as you can see from the title below. I think that the gamification of business in general has been going on for the past 10 years. I don't think it's inherently good or bad. It's just a trend that I observe on the daily basis. And yesterday, it just got me thinking a little bit deeper into it, and it made me a little more conscious of this process as I was scrolling not only through my crypto wallet but through some social media apps, which I think are also very much for this tactic. It's a marketing tactic, obviously, and it's something that I think it's been the theme of apps and platforms that have been developed in the last decade. And it got me thinking why this happens, and who really benefits from it, and what that means to users. I think it's a tactic that can be good or can be bad. I think there's both sides to it. But it's a tactic that I have used personally also when developing my company, and I'll get into that a little bit farther along the video. But yeah, I guess to start the process of gamification, it's pretty much when companies use game-like mechanics to influence user behavior within a certain platform or business, or to make transactions. Um, and I think it's very easy to spot once you realize what it is, and once you're looking out for it. Like I said, I was scrolling through my crypto wallet yesterday, and it seemed very much like I was immersed in a video game. I think that the process of, because it's so gamified, it sort of takes away the edge of the fact that you're actually investing your money and that you could be losing money. The interfaces, the bright interfaces, the shining lights, or when you make an investment, the confetti coming up on the screen. It's just a process that we see more and more on all of these types of platforms. And I wanted to get a little bit more into that, and why it works. It works. You see all these platforms doing it, so clearly it works. I think the catalyst of all this is, with the boom of the mobile first apps in the last 10 years. This gamification process really makes the interfaces more user friendly and more engaging for the user. I also think that businesses have shifted their strategy from one-time purchases to repeated engagement and repeated purchasing, which of course it's a very effective strategy. It makes total sense. That constant participation, and it's everything now is designed to keep the user coming back. And the more the user comes back, the more the user engages, the more these businesses are going to make money. That's obvious. And this reflection came to me as I was scrolling through one of my crypto wallets yesterday, more precisely the Phantom wallet. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's one of the big time crypto trading platforms out there today. More precisely, I think it's very used for meme coin trading, the Solana coins and etc. So I was scrolling through it yesterday, and I was just kind of analyzing each aspect of it, like the instant feedback, and the flashy colors, and it's when the transaction is complete, the feedback that you get, it's just so interactive, and it gives you such a dopamine hit, so to the point where you buy a coin or you make a transaction. And it's like that also in some investing platforms these days, like the Robin Hoods. It's when you make a transaction, it gives you like almost a congratulations, or the flashing colors. It almost makes you want to buy more, and that's such an effective strategy, I think. And it's been making these companies millions and millions of dollars. I think that's user engagement just completely toned up, and it just makes total sense. I'm not here to make judgment of if it's good or bad, but it's just what's out there. And I think these crypto wallets especially are taking this gamification process to the next level. The thing I can compare it to is, like, imagine if your bank made transferring money like opening a loot box. Just a very immersive, colorful experience. Once you interact with their platform, they want to make you feel welcome and make you feel rewarded almost for doing so, and incentivize you to do more, to stay there, to keep using that platform, and to keep engaging. But I think that this process has made its way into investing, banking, and crypto. I think another great example of it are the social media platforms. Every major one out there. It's just the model itself: the likes, shares, reviews. Getting points, and new apps like the Flip app, for example, where you get paid to literally scroll on the platform, and you can use the points that you gain or the money that you gain from that scrolling into rewards to buy products within the app. It's just this complete experience that these companies are being able to create, that are keeping that user retention to an unbelievable number. And the users keep coming back because these platforms are just reinventing themselves each day, and coming up with new stuff to keep that user there. And then I think it just turns the whole experience into a game where we're the players, and the more we play, the more money they make, and it's just a constant fight for the user's attention. And the more attention you give a certain platform, of course, the more they're going to capitalize on it. It makes total sense. I think that the biggest drawback from this process of gamification, really, especially when it comes to investing and crypto, is that that those dopamine hits that you get from using those platforms and investing money into them, that they give you, via all of the characteristics that I've just mentioned. I think that that can maybe sometimes influence the poor financial decisions. I think that's a bit obvious, and I do believe that every user of these platforms should have some sort of grasp of financial literacy. Otherwise, they're literally out there gambling their money away. Even though something may look like a game, it really isn't. It's real life, and it's real money that you're putting in there, and that you're, of course, um, liable to lose. But that's for the user to to be aware of, not the platform. They're doing what they can to keep those users engaging and using that platform, and that's life. It's business. And you can even go as far as mentioning food delivery apps and subscription services that are using this gamification process. Also, Uber Eats, where the more you spend on there, the more rewards you get. And that's genius marketing. Obviously, it's you're telling the user that the more they spend on your platform, the more they're going to reward you in the future. So you're just going to keep that customer loyalty at a high level, and that's the whole point of it. Is to keep that customer there in your platform, keep them coming back. Even the auto renewals in subscription services is one of these processes that I think have evolved so much with marketing. Loyalty tiers and limited time rewards. All those things are just made to keep the customer there. And it's I think that the reason why um, businesses are gamifying everything, it's really it increases engagement, right? It increases engagement, it increases interest, it increases retention. All of those things are boosted when you make something seem like a game, or to to make the customer think that they're not spending real money there. Or it really is a tactic that the more you gamify something, the more it's going to seem to the customer that they're not spending their real money there. And but they do. So that's the real catch. I think that it increases competition and risk taking also, and that's always good for business. But I do think that there are pros and cons. Mentioning a little bit of my experience using gamification, I used this concept a lot when I was building my platform, Highlight Sports, which is an online college recruitment platform that helps prospective student athletes connect with college coaches. In a business like mine, where you're dealing with athletes and you're dealing with coaches and you're in the world of sports, which is naturally a very gamified arena, uh, that process makes complete sense. It is in my case, the process of gamification is to purely improve the user experience. Um, I'm not charging more, I'm not charging less because of it. It's purely to keep the customers happy with the product that they're getting by signing up to my platform, right? And I think that when you're dealing with athletes and you're dealing with coaches, the gamification makes total sense. We created a system where when a player creates their profile, it almost looks like one of those baseball cards or basketball cards that people trade. We made it very interesting, but that's something that I have used when building my own business. And like I said, I am not here to make a good or bad judgment of it. I think that there's pros and cons, like everything else in life, but it is a very interesting trend that's been going on. And I've even read recently that GTA 6, the game that's going to be launched later this year, it's gonna reward its players for playing the game. I don't know how. It's something that I read. I don't even know that it's completely true. But that would make complete sense. And even talking about the process of gamification, it goes back full circle where a game will now reward its players for playing, and for retention. That's just what you would want to do, right? I mean, in a game, imagine you're playing and you're being paid to play by the game itself. I mean, I don't really know how that's going to work, but it's being ventilated in the media that that's a possibility for GTA 6. I guess we'll see about that. And yeah, I guess wanted to finish off by asking you guys where you can identify gamification in your day-to-day experience, investing, trading crypto, or using social media. Where do you feel like it gets you the most, this gamification process, and whether you like it or not, what do you think of it? Let us know in the comments. And yeah, that's about it. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Always forward.